I'm Tony Ahn. I'm Chief Digital Architect of Tony Ahn and Company, a digital public relations agency based in Manila. The hot air balloon?
Yeah.
That was very creative, and I really liked that one because it wasn't really mean-spirited, you know? Like, it wasn't like making fun of somebody's weight or their intelligence, or it was like, hey, it looks kind of like a hot air balloon, you know? Like, that's kind of funny. I don't know. Memes like that, I don't think you really need to respond to. You can actually get points by responding to memes like that positively. Like, yeah, that's pretty funny. Or like, you know, like if I was Nancy Bina, I might have then had a picture of me taken on a hot air balloon, like waving at the camera, you know, like that would have been cute and that would have endeared her to people. You know, it's like, because people go, oh, she's a good sport, you know, she's not bitter about this. What's a lot worse, though, are the memes that are a lot more destructive that happen. Like, do you remember what happened with Bio? With the 50% Asian, 50% Filipino, that whole thing? Like, there were some really negative memes that came out over that. And I think that, I don't know that you necessarily deal with memes any differently than any other kind of digital crisis, in the sense that it's the same principles that I outlined that apply. Now, one of the first things I said, or the first one I said, is you have to listen, right? So you have to pay attention to what your target public is already doing, or what they're already saying. And if they're starting to spread memes, then that needs to be taken into account in your response, okay? I'm not saying if there's a meme you have to respond to it necessarily, but you might want to, depending on what it is. Like, we actually my company was interested in getting that business when the crisis happened. Geyser McClung got it. And I worked for them before I opened my own agency, and I sent Geyser McClung a list of a couple ideas that I had, just like, you got it, good job, here's some ideas I had. They didn't run with any of them, but one of my ideas was to actually create their own meme that was like, it was going to be something like 50% something, 50% something else, and then 100% apologetic, and then a written statement saying, you know, Bio does not discriminate, or, you know, and whatever the issue was. I also felt like them saying, oh, it wasn't approved. Like, it wasn't, you know, because what they said was it wasn't ready to go out. Like, somebody released it without our permission. And I thought that was a little disingenuous. And I think that the public did too. When I saw the public's response to that, they were like, oh yeah, right, you know. So they didn't really own it. They scapegoated one of their nameless, faceless employees. And I don't think it rang true, because I don't think it was true. I think you have to look at potential consequences. You know, like, what's the worst thing that could happen as a result of this? Are we going to lose sponsors? Could there be a government investigation? Or is it, you know, like for example, the PLDT thing, I don't think that's going to hurt them too much in the long run. Partly because there's really not a lot of other games in town. In industries with a lot more intense competition, then you have to really worry, you know. But with PLDT, I don't think people are going to cut their phone lines. And I don't think, if there's another event where they're bringing in NBA players, I think people will be suspicious. They'll be like, oh, is it going to go down like the way the last one did? But all that they have to do to take care of that is to address that it happened before. You know what? It happened before, and the promoter, you know, didn't tell us that it was that they hadn't locked down permission with the NBA. So we specifically asked about that this time. We've gotten an assurance that, you know, we have permission, and we're going ahead of schedule. That's all it will take for them to overcome this if it pops up again, if they try to do another one.